Okay. Hello dear friends, today Michelle is again with you and I have a new material dedicated to the review of the Scam Broker project, which I have already told you about many times. In fact, this black broker has been working on the market for many years and the number of affected traders goes to hundreds of people around the world. But thanks to almost 100% anonymity, the organizers of this outright scam still managed to avoid responsibility for all their illegal actions. And the only thing I can advise you in this case is to have the maximum amount of information about this project, so that when faced with it face to face, you can make the right decision and in no case invest a single cent here. If you haven't figured out it yet, then I'm talking about the NPBFX project. As you know, he specializes in deceiving traders both in the French-speaking and English-speaking market segments, and not so long ago these scammers decided to start expanding into Asian markets. I have already prepared several separate materials about this, and if you haven't seen them yet, I strongly recommend reading them and watching them. There are links to these videos of mine in the description of this video. The main danger of NPBFX is a very high level of mimicry for white license projects. Even an experienced speculator who first came to the main portal of scammers, NPBFX.com, may be feeling that they are on the side of a white licensed and therefore honestly working broker. But of course, this is absolutely not the case. I categorically implore you not to believe a single word written on the NPBFX project. For sure, sometimes even maybe consultants on the phone who are working on NPBFX will quickly become your best friends just to take away from you not only all the savings that you have, but also kindly help you to get a loan, sell a house, a car, convince friends or relatives to borrow money for you. In a word, to leave you not just without a penny in your pocket, but also to drive you into monstrous debt with which you will then pay off for many more years. Believe me, I have seen this many times, and unfortunately the outcome described by me above is not something supernatural. This is quite a typical situation in which people who believe in NPBFX find themselves. I don't want to scare you in order not to find yourself in such an unavailable position described above. You just need to know what the NPBFX project really is and not invest there. It is also highly advisable not to register on their portal, because in this case, if you have registered anyway, the scammers will have your phone number, which, believe me, will be continuously besieged by support managers, and they will convince you to invest in NPBFX in all possible ways, from persuasion and flattery to direct threats. And what happens if you still decide to entrust your money to these scammers I have already described above? Yes, friends, if you think that I am doing the right job, if you agree that only the maximum publicity of the actions of scammers can serve as an adequate means of protection against the actions of scammers today, I really ask you to like this material and my other materials dedicated to NPBFX. In this way, we will be able to increase the popularity of materials and therefore make sure that as many people as possible on the network find out about the illegal actions of this project. This way, we will be able to help other traders who have not yet heard that it is impossible to invest in the NPBFX platform. Yes, it is not difficult. Share the link to this material with your friends and colleagues. Only the maximum repost of the material will allow us to block the fraudulent activity of NPBFX. Let's do it together. This is our challenge, which is quite realistic to complete with brilliant success, in my understanding. And yes, today I wanted to invite you to conduct another interesting study with me, namely to study in detail what a scam that really wants to seem like a white license broker writes in contracts that are posted on his portal. Let's be honest, do you read them at all? In fact, it is that most traders do not pay due attention to the study of legal significant documents, but completely in vain, because by registering an account on the portal you automatically agree with everything written. I strongly don't recommend doing this without prior reading and comprehensive evaluation, even if we are not talking about NPBFX, but in general about any financial service where you plan to invest. If we are talking about NPBFX, then it is all the more curious how they sum up the legal grounds, which of course are not legal, securing their right to fool traders. So let's go read the NPBFX client agreement. Let's go, guys. Okay. As you can see in the section regulatory documents of the NPBFX portal, you can find several legal agreements, and I propose you first of all read the most important of them, the client agreement. Let's do so. And once again, to the question of the anonymity of the project, please note that in the introduction it is said that it is here, just a second, let me show you, in the bottom and in the beginning of the client agreement. It is known that NM Markets Limited, hereinafter referred as company, and just a second, yeah, that's it, with a registered office in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, registration number 24454. MDS makes an offer on the terms of the public offer, that is the right to conclude this client agreement to any individual or legal entity which satisfies the terms of this agreement. The company that provides you with services to the world of trading in international financial markets is registered in the blackest of all offshore zones in the world. This means that you will never be able to get into their office with representatives of law enforcement agencies, and in general in St. Vincent and the Grenadines the anonymity of business is fixed almost at the state level, so it is almost impossible to get the money back in case of their banal theft. Further, point 3.4. That's what I'm talking so far. For the purposes of identifying the client and accounting for the client's trading orders, the company provides the client with the opportunity to register in the client's cabinet, hereinafter referred as a client's cabinet. The personal account allows the client to open and manage their trading accounts, send requests, receive information, communicate with company, etc. What does it mean? This means only one thing. Registration in your personal account automatically means the process of identifying you as an NPBFX client. That is, after registration you will already be considered to have agreed with everything that is written in particular and in this document we are studying so far. Next, point 3.5. The terms of the agreement are considered to be unconditionally accepted by the client when performing the following action: full and successful registration, at the company's client cabinet, and transfer of funds to any of company's accounts for the purpose of deposit the client's trading account in accordance with this agreement. Once again, we make sure that registering in your personal account and replenishing your trading deposit is enough to agree with everything. Pure madness. Look further. Now, point 4.3. Yeah. The company must carry out all transactions with the client only in terms of their execution, without managing the account and without consulting the client. The company does not assume any obligations unless otherwise is not stipulated in this agreement and regulatory documents to monitor or advise the client on the status of any transaction or to close any of the client's open positions. Unless specifically agreed otherwise, the company is not obliged to attempt to execute the client's order using quotes that are more profitable than those offered through the trading platform. Here, next one. The client shall not be entitled to ask the company to provide investment or trading advice or any information intended to encourage the client to make any particular transaction. And here next, any information material that contain information including but not limited to financial market conditions posted through its website and otherwise provided to the client from time to time should be considered only as marketing communication and not certain and should be not interpreted, etc., etc. And the last one point I wanted to take your attention to is the point 4.6, that the company and its discretion may provide the client with trading recommendations or other information, but it is not responsible for the impact and profit that these links and tips may cause. So guys, if we briefly summarize everything that we have just seen, it turns out that no one should or is obliged to tell the client anything, and if they still decide to say something or advise, then this is just for advertising purposes, and NPBFX does not bear any responsibility for its information provided. In fact, if will look like a call from a consultant and persistent maxims about opening certain deals, if the transactions, and not even if but when, turns into a loss and complete loss of funds, you will simply be told that in fact all responsibility lay on you personally, and probably add that this is market, anything happens, and immediately they will ask you to find more money to replenish your trading deposit. That's the case. Next point that I wanted to pay your attention to is in the section 10. Yes, this one. The company reserves the right to make changes and additions to this agreement, as well as information posted on the company's website from time to time. Next point is 10.2. New versions of the agreement will be posted on the company's website, and company is not obliged to personally notify the client of these changes. The client undertakes to visit the company's website on a regular basis in order to be aware of changes made by the company to legal documentation and other relevant documents. Here you are blurred to inform that you agree that any documents can be changed unilaterally, and no one, as clients, will be obliged to inform you about it. This is generally pure fraud. Next point that attracts my attention is 10.6. The company may suspend or terminate this agreement immediately by sending a notification to the client. And that's it. In what cases, for what reasons, nothing is specified or described. A huge risk of losing money, it seems to me. Next, 11.1. The client's agreement provisions are regulated by the law of St. Vincent and Grenadines, and the next 11.2, exclusive jurisdiction belongs to law courts of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But this actually means that you will have to sue for your rights and stolen funds only in the jurisdiction of St. Vincent and Grenadines. This is another clear violation of the rights of customers. I'm coming back to you, my friends, just a second. Yes, I'm here. What I want to tell you about all this. I personally have not seen a single clause in this agreement that could somehow help you defend your violated rights and interests. Everything is done this way and is focused on ensuring that the trader can never get satisfaction if they decide to cheat them. Everything is here at once, and PBFX can tell you anything but not be responsible for anything. You will have to sue if anything on the other side of geography that is provided that here there is a lawyer who will undertake to protect your rights in St. Vincent and the Grenadines jurisdiction. In short, I can never recommend investing to anyone under conditions of legal regulations similar to what we have just observed. A scam that tries to seem like a white broker that's what NPBFX is, nothing more. And today we have once again clearly seen this. Thank you all for watching my video, guys. I hope you were interested. Write me at the contacts listed in the description. I will be happy to answer all your questions. See you in my new reviews. Ciao, guys.